Hello everyone, and welcome to another one of my videos. Today will be another unique video compared to what I normally make. Today, I will be showing you, at the request of one of my subscribers, someone who asked, they want to know how to build my house from my survival series. So, that's what we're going to be doing today. I will be showing you how to build this house. If you end up enjoying this video and learning anything, please leave a like. If you have any thoughts to share, leave a like to show support, and subscribe if you want to see more, to stick around and see more videos like this. And I don't know if I still have to say this, but make sure when you subscribe, if you want notifications to, it used to be a bell icon you have to hit, but now when you first subscribe, you have this option to change to get notified for everything. Probably make sure you hit that as well. And I also noticed that there's like this hype points thing. I don't know if you can use that on my video set or if I have to be monetized, but if you have the option, hype the video. So let's get on with it. So this is a close replica, if not an exact replica of my house. I don't have Lost Colony, so I can't copy it and upload the build for you to just do. I didn't count how many materials, like how many walls and stuff I used. So you'll have to kind of figure out. I do know that it is 4 walls tall, and then the roof is a little tricky as well. So, but let's get the shape done first, because the foundation's the most important part. In my mind, as long as you get, the most important part is if you get the foundation done, you can then make a very closely related house to this. So this is what the foundation looks like. I'll be starting off by, I'll kind of rebuild that house in this video. So this is what the foundation looks like. It is 5 foundations in the back. It's kind of like a triangle. It's like a messed up triangle. It's 5 foundations long in the back. And then you use 2 triangle foundations for the corners here at the ends. Then you go downwards this way, 3 foundations, and then you connect one triangle foundation at the end of that. And then you can connect them from the both sides with 2 foundations. If that makes sense, I'll be showing you, but we're starting off with the explanation. Then you fill it all in with triangle foundations because that looks the best. Otherwise, you'll have stuff like, at least in Ark Survival Evolved, you'd have structures intersecting with each other and it looked ugly. Another thing that's in my way is this level up. Alright, so go ahead and show you how to build this foundation stuff again. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 foundations, and then we get our triangle foundations out, and 1, 2 on each end like this. So you gotta have them going. You could have gone this way as well, but it's whatever. And then 3 foundations out from the last triangle foundation placed. Then at the tips of those new foundations we've placed, 1 triangle foundation. Then you connect the 2 triangle foundations with 2 normal foundations. And then you just fill it in like this. I don't really count this part. Like, I don't count how many foundations are used in this part. But, and that's how you recreate that shape. Now, let me go ahead and grab the other materials needed to kind of build that out. I'll be building it on camera. Just give me a moment. Okay, so we got everything. Just in case, I'm going to go ahead and kind of show y'all how I went about this. So I didn't actually use, so I used double doors. I didn't use normal wooden doors, is what I was about to say. I view all of this as optional, you know, if you want to do this, but we got stairs in the front. And then we used reinforced doors, which are the stone equivalent doors. And then we used glass walls here. Now, at first, my house used windows like that. And then I used the doors to add the covering. So you can do it like this. Instead, if you're poor, You can open it up. Now, you don't have to use the reinforced version. It does look nice, but I used the wood one. But we're gonna keep it to how it is in the survival series. So we're gonna pick these up. Nope, not like that. Pick all this back up. You don't have to follow it like this. Sorry, I'm messing this up here. Now, it is a little asymmetrical because the interior has stuff against the windows and all of that. So, let's go back over here and look at the house. The attempted replica of the house. Where was it? The exact corner. Okay. It's on this corner. So, if you're watching and paying attention, you can see what I'm doing. And then this wall will be completely closed off. You do 3 walls or 4 walls like this, 3 in a straight line, and then 4th on a curve. And then this one will be a double doorway. And then you get normal walls on each side of that, 2 normal walls. So the back has no windows on it. And then this one in the middle will have a window. And then you cover it up with normal walls. And then you don't put any windows on this layer. Because it's not until the 3rd layer of walls do we actually add any more windows. Because it is a 2-story house or base, whatever you want to call it. Now, I did build this house on a pretty safe island on Ragnarok. So that's kind of why it looks this way. That, and I built it regarding the environment. So it kind of like this fits into like some weird pot in the ground or whatever you want to call it. Dip in the ground. Alright, so now the front corners of the house have windows on the 3rd layer. And you cover it up like so with wood walls in the middle. And then windows here. And then 1 window there. And then the rest is wood walls. Now, when I say windows, I mean greenhouse walls. And then it's another layer of wood walls if you're watching. Maybe I should be explaining all this. But yeah, it's an asymmetrical house in my mind. You know, it's not the same. Like, at first, when I built this place, the windows were on every corner like so, but I have bookshelves in the survival series set up on this wall, on the left wall. If you're in the house facing the same direction as the house, it's the left side that doesn't have windows, greenhouse walls at the 2nd layer. Then, the way you would cover this let me show you. So you place a ceiling there, and then you go down 2 with stairs. I don't think they're that close to the window in the survival series. Let me see. I think you start here, and then you get your stairs. I used wood stairs. Really, all this is optional, but I'm kind of just recreating my house from the survival series. And then you kind of, with the ceilings, you follow what you did with the foundations. So you don't place ceilings like normal ceilings here. You would do triangle ceilings. So 3 ceilings there, and then it would be 5 ceilings here, but 2 of the ceiling spaces are taken by the fact that the stairs exist. So then, on top of all the normal foundations below it, you place the corresponding ceiling. So, below these 2 ceilings are 2 foundations. So, you place normal ceilings. Where do I have... I do have them. Okay, there you go. And then with the triangle ceilings, you place them in the corners where there are these triangle spaces left over. And then the way you fill it in is with triangle ceilings. So you can have a floor. There's not really much to explain. I'm kind of just doing it. Kind of just showing y'all. You kind of just mostly replicate what you did to make the foundation to make the second floor, but you use ceilings instead of foundations. Alright, so now the roof is a little more tricky. It's a little bit more tricky than that. You don't just copy everything he did, because you can see with what's going on this roof, I had to use triangle ceilings in just a few spots because there's no roofs that properly cover these up in a way that doesn't have them like intersecting with each other, like meshing through each other. So I'm going to show y'all how to do the roof of this place now. Give me one moment to kind of mess with my hotbar. Alright, got my hotbar sorted. So you'll need triangle roofs for the corners. You'll put them in every corner, what I consider a corner. Basically, everywhere that there's a triangle ceiling on the corners is where you use these. So on these two corners, like so, you don't do that. Don't do that. Now, I don't know how many of each I'm using. What is this so far at the roof? It's 6. Yeah, 6 triangle roofs so far used. You can probably count it all out or guess it. And then with normal roofs, like so, you follow what I'm doing on screen. See, we're starting to replicate what that house looks like. Now, we don't have the pillars set up yet, but that's because it'll be pretty fast to replicate. And like so, 3 roofs right there in the gaps. I think the first layer is pretty simple, you know. It's the second layer that I actually had to experiment with and figure out how to do that. And I had to relearn how I did it the first time in preparation for this video. Dang it, man. There's a better way. If you look at these roofs, it'll connect to that. There we go. Now, I was forgetting the triangle ceilings. I forgot those. Alright, so, in these corners, you're going to fill it in with 1 triangle ceiling in both these corners. Then, from those corners, like so, you're going to, at the end of it, towards the hole, you'll put a triangle roof. Goodness, it's not working for me. There we go. And then you'll fill in this backside with, that sounds really wrong, with triangle roofs. Because I don't know how, they bend the right way. No, I don't know. I think it's just triangle roofs for the rest of the way. Because I think normal roofs aren't shaped correctly for this. And then at the tippy top, you fill in with triangle ceilings. Now, I know my explanations aren't the best, but showing it is better than explaining it, because I don't know how you explain that. I believe that's what I did here. Yeah, at the tippy top, it's nothing but triangle roofs. They look good, though. The lines are not too obvious. Now, with the pillars, they're pretty simple as well. They're kind of like decoration. So I don't like these gaps between the doors too often, and I don't really like them in between the windows either. And I like the look of mixing in stone. So you can see it connects right there. Now, you can't place it in the ground until you already have one in the doorway like that. So as you can see, just looking at it, I can then place it. And then, looking at it from the bottom, you know, you can then place another pillar underneath the first pillar. And then, from there, you can select your wood pillars, and you have to mess with it with the right bumper a little bit. I'm on Xbox, so it's the bumpers I use to change where it places it. But you can see what I did there. You just gotta be careful about it, watch it, and I like to line it up like so. You got your pillars, and then you kind of just replicate that to make it look like the house. I hope that was helpful. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a comment praising me. Praise me in the comments. No, I'm kidding. But, if you enjoyed it and you want to see more, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to show more support. And subscribe to stick around. And that was Ignited Trap. I'll catch y'all next time. Bye-bye.